Okay guys, so this next move is called a hollow hold. Again, it's a great core stability exercise and core strength exercise as well. So I'm going to show you 3 variations. Again, the first one's going to be easiest, a little bit harder than the hardest. So our first position is going to be what's called a bent hollow hold. Reason being, we're going to be bent at the knee and reaching the hands forward like so. Okay, the aim of this is to basically take the distance from where your pelvis is to where your chest is and make this as short as you possibly can. Okay, so at the minute, you'll see it's here with me. I'm going to come up. I'm going to try and connect them pieces together. Hands are going to come forward. I'm going to breathe in. Every time I breathe out, I'm going to reach forward, but I'm not going to lose my position. Okay, so every time I breathe, my core is working a little bit harder and a little bit harder. Okay, so that's your first variation. Again, once you're nailing that for easily like maybe 45 to 60 seconds, like with really good technique, then you can move on. Second variation then, from here, get that position, arm overhead. But as we do this, I'm not losing my core, so I'm not letting myself spill out like this. I'm still maintaining my core strength, my core position. I'm back in, okay? Okay guys, so we're gonna show you some push-up variations. So push-up is the exercise that everyone wants to nail, okay? It's like the kind of one of the ultimate kind of upper body weight exercises. It's a great feat of strength for anyone, okay? So I'm gonna take you through just a few variations that you can work with, but again, start with where you are and aim to progress, okay? There's a saying, regress to progress. Start where you are, aim to get better over time. So the first one we're going to simply do, which is gone over before, is going to be the straight arm plank, okay? So here, shoulders over the hands, gripping the floor with the fingertips, squeezing the butt, and breathing. Okay? That is your first part to nailing the push-up, is a really good straight arm plank for easily 1.5 minutes, 90 seconds to 2 minutes. You want to really nail that. That gives you the prerequisite of core strength and upper body strength, okay? From there, we can get some pushing involved. We're simply going to descend to the knees, okay? So from your plank position, we're going to let the knees descend, but we're going to maintain that nice straight body, okay? So we're not having our butt in the air like so. Our shoulders stay over the hands, body stays straight, abs stay on. From here, I'm going to keep my elbows nice and tight, descend my chest to the floor, not rest on the floor, and push back up. Okay, so all the tension stays in my arms, and I'm trying to keep as much core tension as possible by keeping my hips tucked in and not pushing my butt back, okay? So once you're nailing maybe like, 10 to 15 really good knee push-ups and they're looking spot on, what we can do is we can incorporate a negative, okay? So a negative push-up is just going to be the lowering part. So from here, we'll go full plank, breathe in, we're going to lower ourselves to the floor, rest, let our knees go to the floor, and then push back up, okay? Reason for this is we're a lot stronger descending than we are pushing, okay? Push back up from the knee, and back up. Remember, we're keeping our elbows in nice and tight, keeping our shoulders over our hands. I want to make sure I've got 90 degrees at my elbow, okay? The whole time at the bottom, and then push back up from the knee, okay? And then obviously from there, we have our full push-up with again, fingertips spread, shoulders over the hands, butt nice and tight. I'm going to pull myself into the floor and push back off. Every single time. Okay, and there is the push-up. So guys, this move is called the dead bug, okay? This is a great core stability movement, okay? And also it's good for your coordination as well. Surprising how much people get this wrong when they first do it, okay? It's a pretty humble exercise. So the way we're gonna work, I'm gonna show you a few different variations, okay? Just obviously base it from where you are. So what we're gonna do first is we're gonna think about tucking the hips under, so our lower back isn't crushing to the floor, but it's just in contact, okay? So we've got stability through our core. From here, the arms are gonna go in the air, and we're gonna kind of protract forward with our shoulders. Protract just means reaching, okay? So we're reaching the shoulder blades forward. head comes off the floor. From here, what we're simply gonna do is just lift one leg up, like so, keeping the bend in the knee. As that knee drops, the other knee is gonna come up. And we're breathing every single time. Okay, so we're just keeping the arms where they are for that first variation. To progress on, what we can do is include the arms, okay? So from here, same position, okay? Knees are gonna come up. As one leg descends, the opposite arm is gonna come off to the side or come overhead, like so. I'm just making sure that the lower back stays in contact with the floor, okay? And I'm breathing out as the arm and leg go away and keeping this engaged through here, okay? Your third variation is gonna be, we're actually gonna extend the leg away and extend the arm away. So you can see, the further away my arm and my leg are away from my core, the harder my core has to work to stabilize and stay in control, okay? So if you do this and you can't keep control, regress back, okay? So it's gonna look like this, okay? Arms and legs bent, we're gonna extend, pull back in. Every time I breathe out, I'm contracting, I'm driving my ribs down, I'm breathing in to return. Okay? Okay, so this exercise is called the inchworm, okay? Something that it gets called different names by different gyms, different people, we call it the inchworm. So the way this is gonna work is we're gonna do two movements. We're gonna squat down, hands are gonna go to the floor, and then all we're simply gonna do is walk ourselves out into a plank. We're going to breathe, and then we're going to walk ourselves back into that squat, stand up and repeat, okay? So squat, walk ourselves out, breathe, and walk back in, yeah? So it's really good for the shoulders, hips, and core. One thing I don't want you to do though, and be aware of, is when you walk out, is letting this happen, okay? So obviously it looks pretty ugly, it's not going to be good for your lower back. Keep that perfect plank position the whole time, and a good squat on the way up as well. Okay guys, so I'm going to show you two plank variations, okay? Very good exercise, but an exercise that can get done wrong quite often. So, first variation is going to be from the elbows, okay? So the way we're going to start this is we're going to think about tucking our hips in, okay? So your tailbone is going to come under your butt, so we're tightening up these core muscles straight away. From here, elbows to the floor, and then from there, squeezing the fist, don't link your hands together, have your hands apart, like so. From there, one leg goes back, other leg goes back. I want you to squeeze your butt as hard as you possibly can, and I want you to drive your elbows towards your feet. So imagine you're trying to pull the carpet towards you, and we're breathing, okay? And just by doing them two different cues of squeezing your butt and driving the elbows in, you're really gonna hit your core, okay? So obviously the second variation, we'll do exactly the same thing, but with straight arms, okay? So arms are gonna go straight. We're gonna tuck, we're gonna tuck the hips in just a little bit. 1, 2, shoulders over the hands. Same thing. We're pulling the floor towards your feet. Breathing. And we're squeezing your butt the whole time. Okay, so that is the elbow plank and the straight arm. Okay guys, so this is gonna be the reverse lunge. Another great single leg exercise. So from here, we're gonna have our feet facing forward. We're gonna take one leg, and I want you to take a nice big step back. Okay, so this knee is gonna be bent, body's nice and tall. Back knee just kisses the floor, and then we drive back up through the front foot. And then you can alternate if you want. Okay, so we're stepping back, standing up. Again, similar to split squat, when people do this, they sometimes get their back leg too in line with the front leg and they lose their balance, okay? So I want you to think, wherever this foot is, draw a straight line in behind you, and that foot is gonna go along that exact same line. So again, you can keep your balance, your center of gravity stays the same, okay? So we're stepping back, we're driving this foot through the floor, standing tall. Body, torso stays upright as well. Okay, so from the side again, not too big a step, but not too small a step. My weight stays on the front foot. reverse lunge. Okay, so this movement is going to be a single leg deadlift variation. I'm going to show you again 3 variations, okay? You choose the one that suits you the best in the class. So your first variation, which is going to be the easiest, okay, is we're simply going to stand on one foot, and I want you to reach forward with the other toe. Make sure the foot stays flat on the floor. From there, we're going to reach in behind, letting the body come over, and we're tapping that toe on the floor. We're not resting it, we're just tapping, okay? Then we're going to stand back up, we're going to tap, and tap, okay? So this is just getting stability and balance through the standing leg, okay? From there then, what we'll do is we're going to bring the knee up, we're going to drive the heel back, and stand back up, okay? You're going to put your hands on your hips if you want. You can reach forward, you can reach forward, and stand up. Just for a bit of counterbalance, it's entirely up to you, okay? Third variation, we can include a weight, which again is going to add resistance to the area that we're working. So you'll hold it in the opposite hand, okay? So from here, we'll drive that heel back. Make sure your hips are nice and square, shoulders are nice and square, and then we're standing back nice and tall, okay? So heel goes back, and stand nice and tall. And that's your single leg deadlift, but just make sure that you're following that sequence of starting where you're at and working up that ladder, okay? So don't just jump straight to the kettlebell. Make sure you can nail this and you can nail that and then move on. Okay, so this movement is called the split squat, okay? So again, single leg movement, very, very good exercise, okay? So where we're gonna start is we're gonna get ourselves in a split position, okay? People make the mistake sometimes of getting their back leg directly in line with their front foot and their balance is all over the show, okay? So what I want you to think about is having this foot just a bit off to the side so you've got a good center of balance. From here, I want to make sure the knee, the hip and the foot are nice in line so we're not over like this. From here, we're going to think about placing a wee bit of weight on our back leg and we're going to let the back knee descend to the floor, okay? Keeping the heel, the toe and the little toe on the floor on the front foot. We're then going to push this foot through the floor and stand back up, okay? So we're here, tap the knee off the floor and there. So from the side, hands on the hips, this foot's going to stay flat, here, and drive back up. So I'm keeping equal weight through each foot, drop down, and you're driving your foot through the floor. This is your working leg. If you want to make it a little bit harder, you hear the guys say rear foot elevated. All that means, clues in the name, is you elevate your back leg on a bench, sofa, whatever you have. And again, the idea is going to be exactly the same. From here, we drop down, we stand up. Okay, making sure we have equal balance, stability going through this front foot, body's nice and tall, and stand. But again, make sure you're nailing the foot on the floor before you try and attempt this variation, okay? And that is this. Okay, so this movement is called the hip bridge, okay, or the hip thrust. So the way we're going to start is knees slightly bent, heels on the floor, okay, feet flat. You can have your hands on your hips if you want, or hands to the sides, entirely up to you, and we're going to place our head back. I want you to think about contracting your butt cheeks as hard as you can, okay? And imagine you're trying to hold in the toilet. Imagine you're trying to hold in number 1, number 2, okay? So that's going to get all the pelvic floor muscles, get them all firing up, okay? From here, we're going to contract everything in our butt, and then I want you to lift. We're going to tuck your pelvis under, lift that, hips up, contract, and then I want you to control, nice and smooth, back to the floor. Keep squeezing the butt, okay? So up, squeeze, lower, under control, and relax again, okay? And you do that for the required amount of reps of time, okay? Simply from here, we're going to think about pulling ourselves into the squat using our hips, hands out in front for stability, back nice and straight, chest nice and tall, stand up. Again, feet down the floor. So we're pushing our butt back like we're sitting on that chair, knees out, stand tall, okay? So from the front, it's here, our knees are going to spread nice and wide, and we're up, okay? Third variation then, we can introduce the kettlebell or a weight. Elbows are going to come in nice and tight. Again, we're going to push our butt back. Everything stays the same, except this time you have a bit of resistance from the kettlebell, okay?